Hey friends, and happy start of the holiday season. If you're new here, my name's Lauren, and I just find so much joy in planning and creating some intention around how I spend my free time. As much as I love October and spooky season, I just, in general, love holidays. And so we have the Christmas season quickly approaching. So if you're looking for some ideas on how to make your Christmas season all the more special in your free time, because we work so hard, we gotta enjoy it, this video's for you. So I have some food ideas, some, grocery haul. We're gonna be talking about books, doing a little bit of decorating, as well as just thinking, what are those experiences that we really, really want? So just a lot of prepping, planning, goal setting. So if that sounds awesome to you, let's jump right in. I've made my way on over to my dining table, busted out my Notion template, grabbed myself some apple cider and a cute little festive glass, and we're ready to plan out holiday season 2025. I was also thinking that I might want to have a newer tradition when it comes to creating my bucket lists. I don't know if I will always do this, but I think what resonates right now is having a theme for the season, a word, something that allows me some constraints, because there's nothing worse to me than having a blank canvas, endless options for my neurodivergent brain. That just makes me freeze and shut down with overwhelm. So constraints, they're actually a really good thing. For holiday season 2025, I'm thinking my theme is going to be around the words of creativity, if I can spell that. And I think it's something that naturally came first, where I noticed there was a theme with all of the things I wanted to accomplish on my bucket list for the holiday season. So I don't know, there's always the question of what comes first, the theme or the goals. And I think it can go either way. And I think having creativity as my theme speaks to a lot of what I feel is a need in my life that's not being met. And I know my job is a highly creative job as a teacher of the social sciences and humanities. It's really difficult to feel like I have full creative control, and the time it takes to be creative is so small and it's intense. So I don't necessarily feel like I get to take risks in my job, even if my job is creative, and I have to think outside of the box. It's just so I have to make decisions quick. I have to do things very fast. I don't think an artist typically enjoys having to force or rush their creative process. And that's what I feel my job on a day-to-day basis is rushed creativity. And yeah, we just don't give enough love to the teachers because it's wild. What I would like is more relaxed, slow creativity, where I get to make mistakes and take risks that are not high stakes at all, and just really having fun with creation for creation's sake, just because it brings me joy. Maybe giving them as gifts to people, but it's really just things that I've always just been, itching and dying to do. So goal number one, I think that there's not gonna be any order to these, but I'm just thinking based off of what I have already kind of brainstormed here. So I think the first thing I wanna really do that will hone in on more creative tasks for me that I've just been really dying to do. I want it to be around baking. So I'm all about, as a newly married woman, figuring out what our family traditions will be, because I love being able to have some type of ritual and tradition that just, it just screams community, and that's a major value for myself. So something I'm thinking for goal number one, that is something I could do with other people, and it hits on the heritage and tradition values, is make my husband Thomas make Thomas's family nut roll recipe. And we got that from his mother already. It's really cute. She sent us a PDF that was scanned, and it looks, it's totally from her cookbook. And I really love that, and being able to perfect that over the course of years. He had it when he was younger, and then being able to our family be able to make that and enjoy that, I just think is so lovely. Goal number two is also going to be something I do with my husband, and we kind of already did the same thing in a different way for Halloween. So goal number two is we are going to watch holiday baking competition shows. I'm kind of thinking of it as a Wednesday night tradition. And that's just something that yeah, just something to look forward to in the middle of the week, just trying to make our way through life. All of these baking shows are so creative, and a little bit of humor in them just goes a long way, which is bringing a smile to my face. Moving on to goal number 3, which I've already booked tickets for, and I'm like beyond excited. So we are going to, and by we, I mean me and my mother, we're going to visit the Winchester Mystery House, and we have tickets to experience a Vogel Victorian tea party inside of the Winchester Mystery House. Like, we're going to be dining in a room on a table that is inside of the actual property, which is going to be so cool because I got married there, right, on the garden grounds, and I took a photo shoot inside for like an hour, and I've gone in there for their Halloween events and drank cocktails and just kind of walked around and experienced their haunted house in a separate experience, but I've never ate inside and spent like a good chunk of time. So I'm really looking forward to this. I know out of everybody I know, my mom will appreciate it the most. It's kind of like a little early, actually it's her Christmas gift from me to her. We're going to be doing a seance or making like little like blessing bottles or like manifestation bottles, whatever, some like fun little witchy creative thing. I don't know about you, but I've been really into watching advent calendar unboxing videos online. I don't know what it is. Like, I would never open everything up all at once. I'm just like so curious to see what's out there. Nothing has really like tickled my fancy. I think it's just me being very voyeuristic, but something I did want to try this year because I grew up with advent calendars being just like these big, tall cardboard boxes that you pop open the doors and there's like a little piece of chocolate. Like, that's what I grew up with. But this year, I wanted to try a tea advent calendar. So that's my goal, is to make sure I stay on top of my little tea bags that they have inside for each of the days. And I'll show you, because I've already picked it up, but I think there's 24 of them, which, I mean, I drink tea literally every day, especially in the colder months. So it will not be that big of a challenge for me at all. If anything, I'm going to have to like hold myself back from trying more tea than the days like match up with. Oh my God, I never ever spell calendar correct the first time. Never. Thank God for spell check. I live in a city where we have like a downtown area that has a lot of really fun things set up for the holiday season. And so something for me that like I just always am drawn to is just having a very like magical, cozy night out, a little date night with my husband, because there's a lot of times where we've kind of experienced that when we were like early on in our dating years, and it also has a lot of like childhood nostalgia for me too. So just being able to make a night of it where we go to like a really fancy restaurant, we've dressed up, the restaurant is decorated for Christmas. We go afterwards to one of like the little lighting installations and just walk around, getting these iconic snowmen hot chocolates. Every year I need one. And then, hitting up some of the local nearby Christmas pop-up bars, because there's several in like a really short vicinity. It just would be so, so lovely and so sweet. Chocolate. There we go. And last but not least, I am so over the moon excited to send out my first holiday card to my family and friends. I created mine on Shutterfly, and I will like insert a little B-roll clip of like what that looks like, what like the final product is, but I'm just so over the moon at how beautiful they came out. And we wrote like a little message on the back, and we have on the front photos from our wedding, and just, I don't know, I'm just excited every time I look at it. It's just really lovely because 2025 was definitely the year of, marriage, wedding, and being able to have a little card that kind of summarizes that. It's like really sweet. And you know me, I'm a sentimental gal. So these kind of things mean a whole lot to me. So sending those out this week on Monday is going to be the goal. So people have it at the start of December, put on their fridge. I've already addressed these, label them, put the little stamps on it. So all I got to do at the start of this coming week is just drop them off at the post office, send them on their way. And I'm just, super, super, super excited to do that. I love this. I'm just playing around with a different idea because in the past, I've had several different ways I've kind of organized my bucket list to kind of keep track of it for any kind of holiday season, Christmas, Halloween, whatever. Like last time for Halloween, I had a little journal spread that I made, and I had all my goals there, and I like kind of checked them off. This year, I thought it'd be kind of fun to have a Notion spread, and then maybe adding in some like photos for a vibe, because I have a really tiny Pinterest board that is kind of visualizing my theme aesthetically, and it's mostly just like an aesthetic thing, what I'm really looking forward to. Like in my room, in my living room, I have a color palette that's more like terracotta, burnt colors like orange, rustic, those kind of things, a lot of like natural materials like wicker to really counter how cold and beige my home is. Bringing in some warmth has been like so game changing for sure. So I wanted to like have an aesthetic and decor that kind of went with that as opposed to against it. So really straying away from like those brighter reds, brighter greens, really doing more of like a brown and like burnt muted colors. Something that's like kind of like a witchy Victorian, witchy in the sense where you have the little oranges that have been dried with like the little pine, whatever this might be, evergreen, and then like, more golds. I have tons of books from our wedding that I have everywhere that are just so easy to bring in that like Victorian vibe. Have like little taper candle holders like this, just adding natural elements. And this for sure is like my vibe right here, just acorns. It's a hodgepodge of everything, and that's what I'm realizing makes it fun to have a Pinterest board as like your North Star rather than what I hope my home looks identical to, because then I just find myself getting so sad and disappointed and like just judging myself, comparing it to like what I see online. And it's just like my more enlightened self is like, this is just supposed to be inspiration. The fun is not knowing what the outcome is going to be. So I'm really just trying to embrace what I got and use that. And these are my goals for the holiday season 2025. Before I head out to my workout class, let's have a little grocery haul show and tell, shall we? In recent years, I've really come to fall in love with any kind of food item that I could put on top of my mug of any kind of like hot or warm beverage. So Cost Plus World Market last year, for the first time I saw at least, had these little gingerbread house mug huggers. I die every time I see them. They bring me endless joy. They're so cute. And yeah, they're kind of heavy. So tread with caution. Like you'll need that really sturdy kind of mug that has a nice firm lip for these, because they're a little top heavy. And they aren't the only mug hugging cookies that I got. I also, from Trader Joe's, got these gingerbread ones that you could put on your rim. So these are more for like frequent use. And then the little gingerbread houses, these are the ones where I'm like, okay, this is gonna be like a special little moment. And then the last one I have here is gonna be Mug Buddies that actually have a sugar glazed on them. And unlike the other gingerbread cookie with like the actual like outline of a person, this one is soft and the other ones were a little more firm. I'm a huge fan of like a soft cookie, whether it's like the sugar cookies that have like the icing on top, whatever it is, gingerbread. Like I love gingerbread, whether it's like a little firmer or a little softer, but either way, these just sound so delicious with that sugar glaze on top. So these snowmen are just so synonymous to me with just like growing up and having these like gifted to me by my mom and just enjoying them together with my family. There's also chocolate and marshmallow stirrers to add in to like a coffee beverage or a hot chocolate beverage. So these just, I don't know, there's something about snowmen and these silly little faces that get me every time. I also got this holiday sampler of different coffee syrups that I could add in, even to like my hot chocolates, I'm sure. In this sampler, there is chocolate Milano, like the cookie, toasted marshmallow, peppermint, pistachio, and of course, gingerbread. And I know these don't have like the best value. And I'm probably like thinking you get more if you get like the larger ones, but the value for me is being able to sample and try everything and figure out through that process throughout the course of several months, what I like, what I don't. Cause I don't wanna take a risk and have like huge bottles of something that I don't even like. I got a few treats as well, some little snackies. So I'm a huge fan of like gummy candies and I love Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Like year after year, it's just pure, unadulterated childhood nostalgia for me and my family growing up. And these gummies just like really, I don't know, like a perfect gummy combo than this. Like this is just, I love it. It just makes me so happy. And then these just seem like they're gonna be the perfect accompaniment to any kind of beverage, warm or hot. I can imagine this tasting so good with like a crisp, hard cider. And these are holiday ginger snap cookies. I just have a feeling me and my husband are gonna be gobbling these up so quickly. I know that I'm gonna be hosting, maybe not like large groups of people this season, but smaller, more intimate hangouts with people, whether it's like my husband, or like friends coming over individually. I know I wanna have some options for making our little snack plates or little app plates just a little bit more festive and fun. At Trader Joe's, I found this can of like 3 spreads that you could use for cheese, toast, crackers, and they're really small. So again, it's like another sampler. Probably not the best value, but I love options and variety. And all of them sound really good. So we have strawberry black pepper, rhubarb and vanilla bean, and then also mango and yuzu. Ooh, that sounds really, really fun. This one sounds so delicious. I picked this one up at Whole Foods. This is a cranberry cherry cabernet spread that, oh my God, it'd be so good with like a cheese. Ugh, I'm already getting like hungry thinking about it. And the second I saw this cinnamon bun spread on one of my favorite Trader Joe's Instagram accounts, I knew I'd like added it to the list of things I wanted to get the next time I was going there. So let me know if you've ever tried this before, if you have a favorite or preferred method for serving it. I also stocked up on a few beverages as well. A new to me, or maybe it's like actually new this year, edition of a seasonal Bones coffee. This is called Sugar Rush. I hope it tastes as good as it smells, because yeah, it's given sugar cookie, and I have a cookie butter creamer that would pair so well with this already. I also have a few teas to add into my seasonal beverage rotation. So from Stephen Smith Tea Maker, I have Morning Light, which is a festive blend of full leaf black teas with rosemary and cassia. This one tastes really nice. It's like super light. I do get a bit of like the rosemary, but yeah, it doesn't have as much depth as I was like maybe hoping for, but it is giving me a little bit more of like a winter vibe to it. And what's really giving me the winter vibes is this cinnamon apple spice. It is like exactly what you would think. And I think it probably has a lot to do with like the flavoring they add into it, but whatever it is, it's working for me. And I did already mention to you that I have a tea advent calendar that I'm so excited to get started on Monday, because that's December 1st. So yeah, it's a little box right here, and I'm trying to see how I open this. Is it the side? Oh, all I have to do is just pull it up. That's it. That's it. And there's 24 total tea bags in various different flavors. There's winter zest, red forest, orange spice, vanilla chai, sweet apple, warm hug, which is like black tea, cardamom, cinnamon, ginger, and clove. All of these sound delightful. I can't lose. And it looks like we are stocked and ready to go for December and January. All of our fun little treats, snacks, spreads for, just hanging out at home during the work week, hosting people. I really love having a fun and like new to me food element around. It just, I think, makes just a small little change, a little teensy bit of novelty really does have a big impact on my mood and my quality of life. Let's talk books. For my December TBR, I'm going straight up Christmas, like explicit holiday vibes and settings. I'm saving all of my more like general wintry set books for January and possibly February. December is just for Christmas settings, Christmas characters, all that fun stuff. And I'm trying to take it very, very chill, because December, as you already will find out in this video, I have tons of things to do, not just reading. Reading is just one hobby that I enjoy like amongst many. And this is a time of year where I'm hanging out with my family and friends far more often than usual. So I don't want to overwhelm myself by setting like high reading expectations when it's just not feasible, nor exactly what I want to do. I only really have 3 physical books I want to get to this month, and then 2 audiobooks that I really am prioritizing, and then a few others mixed in that I'll talk about as well. So the first book I want to get to that I'll be reading physically is going to be the very gorgeous and pretty well-known and popular book, Good Spirits by B.K. Borison. This one is making the YouTube rounds, so you're probably already familiar with it, but if you're not, the little tagline here is fall in love with the ghost of Christmas past in this magical romance. I love me a paranormal romance, and so now you're adding in a Christmas setting, Christmas characters. I'm actually kind of surprised that my library had a book that was in such a beautiful format. Like, look at these edges. They are gorgeous and so festive. This will be the first thing I read in December because of its Christmas setting. I want to make sure that I get to it in the actual, holiday season. The second physical book that I'm getting to this December is not in my hot little hands yet. Actually, tomorrow, December 1st, it will be available for me to buy a physical copy of, which I definitely want the whole series in a physical format, and that is the final book in the Cotton Candy Massacre series written by Christopher Robertson. I really needed a Christmas horror book on my TBR for December. I always love reading it. I've basically read all of the books out there that are Christmas horror. Maybe I've DNF'd them, but I've definitely given them a shot. I cannot speak any more highly about this series. I am a big reader, but I'm not a big book buyer. I just don't do the collecting part. But when I love something, I need that physical copy. And that's that kind of series for me. The last physical novel I have is going to be one I did not expect to actually put on my December TBR, and that's The Enchanted Greenhouse. This past spring, I read the first book in this series, which this is actually a standalone sequel. You don't really need to read this one after the first one, which was the, what was it? It was The Enchanted Spell Shop, or maybe just The Spell Shop. I forgot. The first book gave me just this sweet, light feeling to it. It was really cozy. I enjoyed the characters. I wasn't bored at all, even though it's a slower paced fantasy book. So I'm hoping I'm getting the same experience from this, but with a winter twist. When I heard that this release came out, I was like, yay, so excited. I just thought it was a sequel. I thought it was also going to have that really planty, springy vibe to it. Come to find out, today when I was at this bookstore, I looked closer at the cover and it's actually snowy. There's snow all up on this cover. And I'm like, girl, how did you not look at this cover more closely? I read the back and it's talking about snow, the crisp white in the morning sun. So I purchased it and I was like, yes, this is gonna be my December read. And if I don't get to it in December, this will be perfect for January because to my knowledge, it's just winter vibes. It isn't a Christmas setting. I also have some Christmas horror graphic novels that will give me some festive and fun spooky vibes. Graphic novels are great because they obviously tell a story, but it's very visual. So it's just I don't know, decorations for your brain. That's kind of how I think about it. So I have book 1 and book 2 of The Deviant, A Christmas Story by James Tynion and Joshua Hickson. As snow falls over Milwaukee in 1973, a blood-stained Santa Claus commits unimaginable atrocities against young men. 50 years later, a troubled young writer interviews this so-called deviant killer who still maintains his innocence from behind bars. And as Christmas approaches, once again, the past returns, wielding a sharpened knife. I'm really loving the art style. It's kind of giving old school comic book. I like that. I'm into it. So it has pretty good reviews online. And I just kind of, took a chance from the library. It cost me $0 and I picked up the 2 books. So I'm pretty sure I have the full story. If you know that there's more, definitely let me know. The other graphic novel is Friday, book 1, The First Day of Christmas. I don't think I picked up all of them because I wasn't as sure on this one. If you're wondering why this book is called Friday, I believe that's the name of the main character. And I think they go on a Christmas vacation and it's gonna be the vacation from hell. And then I have 2 audiobooks that are very Christmassy themed. The first one is A Spell for Midwinter's Heart by Morgan Lockhart. I believe this is a very new release. In this holiday romance with an enchanting twist, a magic-averse witch returns home to save her small town's beloved winter festival just in time for the holidays with the help of her estranged coven and distractingly handsome childhood rival. That sounds really sweet. I do love witchy rom-coms. There's so many of them, so I'm curious to see how this one will set itself apart. Speaking of witches, the other audiobook I want to get to is Jingle Spells by Emily Gilmore. This witchy rom-com is set during Christmas and it follows one of 3 sisters who live in this town, and we were introduced to them in the first book that was centered around another sister. And that book was actually set during Halloween. I really enjoyed that first one, but I did find the ending to be a little weird. It was kind of a really random random ending. But I feel like this one is going to be a little bit more better suited to me because this main character is more my vibe. It is actually featuring the grumpy sister of the group, Delilah, and she gets her love story. And I just really love when like there's a grumpy character who finds the right person who knows how to just like, crack them at their core. That's really gratifying for me. It's something I can get invested in. Other than that, I do have several monster romance audiobooks that are on deck that I think they're all available through Everand. I'll just throw them all up here because they could be really amazing or they could be just totally trash and I DNF them after listening to 20 minutes of it. There's Kissed by the Krampus, The Gargoyle Grinch, Snowed In with the Gargoyles. I've never read a gargoyle monster romance before. That's fun. And then there's The Christmas with the Chimera, which truly, I have no clue what a chimera is, but I've heard of it before. I feel like I curated a really well-rounded December TBR. I have a little bit of everything. Some Christmas horror, some really sweet, cozy fantasy, as well as some spicy books. So let me know what you have plans to read, and maybe we have some similarities in our TBRs, that you have something different. Let me know down below, especially if you have some recommendations for me as well. And just like anything else, I've been planning and prepping my DIY projects and all my cozy hobbies that I'm gonna be doing after work in December. And I have several things here on the couch with me that we need to add on over here to my hobby cart that I actually keep behind the couch over here. Like I have my spot on the couch, my husband has his spot on the couch. It's a cozy couch time, and this hobby cart always stays right behind where I sit, because if there's anything I learned about hobbies, especially ones like myself, which are all like, I'm at beginner level for sure. And if you're starting something new, right, you have to have it easily accessible. It needs to be within arm's reach. You need to make it as easy for yourself as possible to do new things that are awesome, because like there's novelty, but also there's that like discomfort of trying something new and not being in a place of familiarity. So we have a few things. Let's start off with what I have here. I have 2 puzzles I hope to get to. If I don't get to both this December, it's not the end of the world. This really fun one here in the shape of a little like peppermint candy cane is going to be a scene from one of my favorite holiday movies. This is Rudolph and Hermie, who just wants to be a dentist. So freaking cute. This is only 150 puzzle pieces, and I chose that for a reason because I really haven't done a puzzle successfully beyond, I think, what is it, like 200, I think? I'm trying to remember my Halloween puzzle. I can't remember how many there were, but there wasn't more than 300 for sure. So maybe around 200. So I'm trying to do something smarter, which is instead of going straight to like the highest puzzle piece count, because I like the image on the cover, I'm working up to that larger 1,000 piece puzzle. So I have to like prove to myself along the way that I'm like accruing more pieces, that I'm successfully puzzling. And in addition to the Rudolph one, I also have the Nightmare Before Christmas one that I think I got this one at Five Below during Halloween season. This one is 200 pieces. Apparently people ages 5 and older are able to assemble this one. There's hope that I can do this one within the month of December. So we're just gonna add this little guy over here. I think I'll put you on the bottom shelf here. And this has like a handy dandy, oh God, handy dandy little candy cane hook. So I'll add you to my cart right there. Several Christmases ago, one of my really good friends gifted me 2 of these needle felting kits. This ice skating bear, and then I did the one last year. That was the other one. It's this little penguin that's gotten twisted up in Christmas tree lights. I wasn't, expecting too much from this kit. It felt like it was something from like a home goods store, and those aren't known for like the best quality of craft kits. I tend to stay away from them. But yeah, even though the directions were bad, I still was able to figure it out by watching other people needle felt. And it's a very straightforward craft. Like this skill is a major skill. Like it's not easy to be good at this by any means. It's not what I'm saying. It's just kind of intuitive and very cathartic to literally just be poking a needle a million times into fabric and then it takes shape. And it was surprisingly very gratifying how quickly I was able to make something that at least in some way resembles a penguin. So I have high hopes for my ice skating bear to try this again. I haven't done it in about a full year, so I'm really hyped to get back into needle felting. So I'll add you down below here to the bottom of our hobby cart. So when things get extra stressful, I think I will pick that up and just start like, needling things. As you can tell, I'm like a huge fan of craft kits. I just feel like they're perfect for any kind of beginner to have, especially if they're high quality craft kits, like a Woobles kit, to have everything all in one place. And with Woobles, you also get a little video link too, so it walks you through the process. And I've had a very, winding relationship. Like the path was not always certain for me and Woobles and just crochet in general, but I stuck with it. And my first attempt to make a little shark crochet was a little wonky for sure, but we finished and that's all that matters. And the second time around, last Halloween, like a few months ago, I actually created a candy corn and made it into a keychain. Literally that like crowning achievement of my hobby life 2025, to be able to make something so good through just crocheting and following their videos here. So I'm really excited to do it again, but this time I would like to make Noelle the snow wooble. So adding you down below here, make room. There we go. And let's see here, I have several little air dry clay kits that I am trying for the first time as a craft. I think I've done polymer clay. Like I've done a few vlogs here where I've experimented with my own creations using just things online as inspiration and then putting the polymer clay that I've molded into the oven. But air dry clay is very different because you just have to mold it into whatever you want and just give it a few days. And apparently it's supposed to harden into whatever it is. In addition to this being a new skill that like I'm very, very much in the beginning stages for, I'm trying a new company as well that I've for sure been influenced in trying out because of all of the ads I've been getting on Instagram, because it just knows my cozy hobby algorithm, I guess. And I've also seen these be unboxed and completed by some really like well-trusted art influencers on YouTube. So I have faith in it. I actually already started the tree on Thanksgiving. I just thought I'd have like a fun little craft to do. And I've been keeping it here because I haven't finished it yet. So this will be probably something I get to first thing this week of December as we kick things off. I can't believe December 1st is like literally tomorrow. So I have my little beginnings of a Christmas tree here wrapped up. So still soft, so that's good. So I'll get to the tree first, but I also have a little gingerbread here because it came into a 4-pack. I have a little Santa here. He looks adorable. I'll probably do him next because he, out of all of these, I think is the most like Christmas coated. So if I don't get to all 4 of these kits in December, I could just then continue them into January. Like this little snowman right here. It's very Christmas, but also just winter in general. We're gonna add these to the top of our hobby cart. Easily accessible, always seems to work. And then something I also need to add as well to my hobby cart. Ooh, don't want those to fall. We need to have our colored pencils because we have some spooky Christmas coloring books. We have Spooky Christmas, which is a cute and easy coloring book. You're probably familiar with this if you know any of the other books like in this line. So they have some really super simple, very beginner friendly here. I don't worry about like learning how to shade and do all these like fancy things yet. I'm just here to use it to relax and settle into my evening. Coloring for me has been something where I use it as a buffer in between, finishing my workday and then getting into things that are a little bit more brain heavy, like crochet. Like I've learned I can't go straight from work mode into creation mode. Like this truly is the hobby that reminds my brain, like we're here to calm down, we're here to relax. Because for me, in work mode, like the wheels are spinning and I can't like keep the wheel spinning all day. Like it's just super exhausting. So to me, coloring has really been the tool to help me really relax. And this one is from The Nightmare Before Christmas. and it has some like glow in the dark pages as well. So this one definitely is better suited for colored pencils. And then I have my cute and easy coloring book that I use with mostly like markers. So we'll add you all here. There we go. I'm so excited to get to these, and besides DIY crafts and projects and all those fun things, I also wanted to do some cozy gaming of both the more like physical card board game variety and then also video games too. One of my favorite Christmas horror movies is the original Black Christmas. It is so good and so chilling and so atmospheric and cozy and well acted, but also super campy. And I'm a big fan of this company called Beyond Killer Games. And I just saw recently that they've released a few new games that aren't board games like they typically do. And this is different. This is called Stop the Killer Black Christmas, the Hex Deck series game. So I think it's a kind of game that they call Hex Decks. And you have different movies that I guess change the template of the game in one way or another. I've never played this before. I actually don't even fully understand what it's asking me to do. And all I know, it's like a solo game, so something I could do on my own. It is an edge matching card game where you work with the police to defeat a creep making scary phone calls to your sorority house. It's one player, apparently it's easy and fun to play, and there are 3 movie logo cards, 60 sorority house cards, 5 kill cards, 4 helper tokens, and a rulebook. It's so cute and so small. Just seems very like portable, and yeah, I'm really excited to like play this because I have been wanting to get into solo games for quite some time, and this one seems apparently to be pretty accessible for new solo players like myself. For the past few months, I've been in a video gaming rut, a little bit of a slump, and I really do feel like with my December games, I am gonna be out of that real soon. There are 2 cozy games I'm really excited to play in December. The first one is Isla, A Frosty Glide, which just came out this past October. Set foot on a magical island and explore a whimsical, small, open world as Isla, a spirited young witch in training searching for her lost kitty, Coco. And I'm so excited. I already started it and I'm already loving it. It's reminding me so much of another cozy winter game that was actually one of the first that got me into cozy gaming. It's like a puzzle adventure game called Roki, which has like winter vibes and like spooky folklore, but also like whimsical and sentimental. And I'm getting the same thing from Isla, and I'm over the moon in love. It's a quick game. I'm kind of sad about that, but I'm really enjoying learning about the town's lore and figuring out the puzzles that aren't like too challenging, but they also aren't as straightforward as you'd think. It's amazing. It's everything. And nothing will ever be as impactful as Roki, but this comes pretty dang close. In my Summerween vlogs, I talked a lot about playing Lake, which is a cozy post-office worker simulation game in this really beautiful summer town that's like foresty, and obviously there's a lake because it's in the title. The big question in Lake is, are you gonna stay in that town after being there temporarily to cover for your dad's job, or are you gonna go back to work in your fast-paced like tech job? So it's a little bit of commentary on like work and what's the purpose of life, that kind of thing, which I found super cozy. I mean, it didn't go like super in depth or like as far as I wanted with those kind of like big questions, but I still find myself like a few months later after finishing this game thinking about it and wanting to go back into that world. And luckily they have a Christmas DLC that is called like Season's Greetings, and you are now, I think, the dad, and it's kind of like a prequel to the main game that I played this past summer. I know it's fictional, but like I'm really looking forward to visiting this town again, this time in a more snowy landscape. And now it's time for the best part. It's time to live our lives and experience all the fun, and I will be taking you along with me as well for a few vlogs this December. The big theme is creativity and really just trying to use my seasonal celebrations and festivities as kind of like a mental health buffer. It takes a lot of effort, it takes a lot of planning, and it can be really fun, but also I definitely don't want to overwhelm myself. So yeah, slow and steady wins the race. If I don't get to everything, it's not the end of the world. It's just, we have to remind ourselves, it's all about having fun. We are more than our jobs. So speaking of which, what do you have going on, cooking up for your celebrations this holiday season? Are you going anywhere? Do you have any books on your TBR, any hobbies or crafts in the works? I'd love to know. Thank you so much for being here. I'll see you on my next video. Bye.